Hi everyone, from me, Brent Graham of Goodforthegame.co.za. Welcome to the Stage 17 betting preview of the Tour de France. We're back into the mountains today, a very tough ending to the stage in particular. Looking forward to getting into that. But first, we'll also have a look at the results of Stage 16, which proved a little bit less eventful than what I was hoping. The winds didn't really blow on that one. Before you go on, though, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified of all of our uploads. And, of course, you must hit the like button as well. Right, let's have a look at the results of Stage 16. Jasper Philipsen, he was the favourite, and he won convincingly in the end ahead of, and I've highlighted all three of the guys who followed him because all of them had excellent results. Phil Bauhaus from Bahrain victorious. Alexander Kristoff did a great sprint, and Sam Bennett also showing up there as well. Unfortunately, a green jersey, Biniam Gamay, he was involved in an accident. So we'll find out more about him in the morning. It looks as though he will be able to continue, though, but he, of course, lost 50 points to Philipsen in the sprint. Just scanning down the list, another solid sprint from Wout van Aert and Ackermann. Kakard, yeah, probably getting one of his better results of the tour there. So that was the sprint finish. The stage itself, yeah, I'd gone for some long shots. I really hoped we'd get crosswind action, but the wind just wasn't hard enough to force anything. And wisely, I guess, none of the teams really decided to try and exploit what little wind there was. It did mean a bit of a boring stage, but, you know, the Tour de France is a bit like a marriage. You've got your ups and downs. You can't have every stage full-on excitement, that's for sure. Right, let's have a look at the yellow jersey betting update. Well, no real change there. Well, there's certainly no change to the classification. And Pogačar remains a firm favourite, 3 minutes, 9 seconds ahead of Vingegaard. The green jersey, there's been a big change. Philipsen making big gains today. He's now within 32 points of Biniam Gamay. Good news for Gamay is there's no sprint finishes left, so there won't be big points to sprint for, but he's certainly going to have to defend himself on the sprints out on the road, the intermediate sprints. And I did see an article just before doing this preview that he's sort of saying the green jersey no longer his priority. He just wants to get to Nice in one piece. So, yeah, that could be a bit worrying. You see the betting there, Gamay still firm favourite at 17-50. I've got quite a nice bet on him at 2-1, just over 2-1, in fact. But, you know, Philipsen 21-10. I don't think I'm going to take any cover at this stage. I'm going to probably, if I do see any comments before the stage tomorrow that Gamay is really feeling bad, then I probably will take some cover Philipsen at that stage, because I do make this ultimately a two-horse race now. Up until today, I made it really a one-horse race. But I'll take Gamay rightly still the firm favourite there. He should be able to defend his position. They'll be quite happy, by the way, to see some big breakaways get clear and hoover up all the points on the road. The polka dot jersey, no change today. We still got Pogačar leading Vingegaard by 19 points. He's still the firm favourite here at 29-50. That's a shade under 6-10. Vingegaard 47-5. And then, yeah, if you do think you can spot someone who can go big on some of the stages that are remaining, there are some very big prices there indeed. Let's get into stage 17. Now, it's 177.8 kilometers. It's a fairly easy start. You'll see a gradually rising road, but it's going to be quite hard for the top climbers, the really light guys, to get into the break. But we are going to have, I believe, a rush for the break. And the question is, what sort of break will get clear? I think we'll get a strong break and probably a big break. We're at that stage of the Tour de France where there are just so many teams who don't have many more chances to win stages. They're surely going to throw everything into this one. And obviously, this is not a sprinter stage. So the question is, who chases this down for the stage win? It can really only be two teams that will chase this down. And that is UAE, if they want to set it up for a Pogačar stage win, or Visma, if they want to continue putting pressure on Pogačar. Now, as far as Visma goes, I don't think this is the sort of stage that they really will be targeting, unless they sense weakness in Pogačar, which, of course, is unlikely. Because this sort of finish is more what you would say is right up Pogačar Street. It's short, sharp climbs, and, you know, it's difficult to see that Vingegaard would be able to put him under pressure, which then begs the question, are UAE going to chase? Now, normally I would say no. Pogačar 3 minutes ahead. There's certainly no need to risk anything at the stage. And what damage can he really do to Vingegaard anyway here, aside from taking the bonus on the line for winning the stage? And by the way, there's also a bonus on this Cat 1 climb, the penultimate climb, the Col de Noia, 7.5 kilometers at 8.1%. There are some time seconds there. But I suspect that UAE might let this one go, and we could get the breakaway fighting it out. So let's just have a look. We've got the sprint here after 114.8 kilometers. As I say, Gamay will be more than happy to let the sprint go. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see Philipsen getting into the break And if so, Gamay is going to have to try going the break as well. I don't believe that he's not going to try and defend the green jersey. So this is certainly one of those stages where Gamay is going to have to try and defend. He could potentially lose 20 points there to Philipson. It won't be that easy for Philipson to just win it. I think this break is going to go hard, but he's a tough enough rider. And at this stage, the climbs haven't really come. He should be able to be in there if he's allowed into it originally. Right, let's just have a look at the final climbs. We've got a Cat 2 here, 6.8 kilometers at 7.3%. So that's a pretty serious climb. And that, to me, when we look at the betting now, that already starts taking out some of the harder sprinters. I'm thinking even some of the classics riders. I'm thinking like Mateo van der Poel, for example. I'm not sure that this stage actually suits him that well. I think the climbs could be a bit much for him. Obviously, he has the potential to win from the break. But if he's with climbers, I think he's really going to struggle to hang on. And the same, of course, goes for the longer and even more steep Col de Noia there, 7.5 kilometers at 8.1%. We then move on to the Cat 3, and I'll just bring up this slide. This is the last sort of 19 kilometers of the stage with the final two climbs. You've got the Cat 1 with the bonus seconds on top. You can have a look at those last 2 kilometers, 10.4% and 9.6. That is serious elevation. So certainly, if the break is together at that stage, and I'm hoping the break will be clear, I think that is where a strong climber is going to make the move, because the final climb at 3.8 kilometers at 5.9% starts off with some decent gradients, but it's actually quite flat after that. So that would favor the climber who can sprint a bit and win from a small group. I think any of the climbers that can't rely on their sprint are going to have to make a go for it on that penultimate climb. We should be in for a very exciting stage. I am going to say that with confidence. Whether or not the break is chased down, we should get an excellent stage here, as opposed to a stage 16, which was, yes, a bit boring. Let's have a look at some of the stage 17 betting. I've got Boyle Sports here. By the way, I will have my price boost up. Unfortunately, I must just, in recapping, the price boost also lost in stage 16, so probably my worst stage for some time. Still nicely ahead of the bookmakers, as you tend to be after backing 130 to 1 shot earlier in the tour. But yeah, looking to bounce back to form. I will have that. I'll show you who on the final page. I will tell you who my selections are tomorrow, and then I will have that price up. I'll put it in the comment section down below, and also, of course, on the Good for the Game forum and in the Good for the Game article. But let's talk a little bit about the betting. Pogacar there, he's a 7-2 favorite for the stage. Look, if UAE go for it, he's a worthy favorite. He'll probably win. But I do think the break have got a good chance. And there, EF have got 2 riders, Carapaz and Healy. They've used them. EF have got some very strange tactics. I mean, to me, Healy has looked incredibly strong, but the amount of times he's had to drop back and sort of pace Carapaz back up, they obviously fancy Carapaz in the mountains is more likely to win a stage. But I don't know. To me, I've been hell of impressed with Ben Healy. So the 2 of them, now, I wouldn't put you off either one of them, but for me, the price is a bit short. Someone else I fancied is Tobias Johansson. I was very impressed with him the other day. He was pretty much the second last guy of the breakaway to eventually drop off in the big mountain stage. He's 35-2, though. That's a shade, but what's that, 17.5 to 1. I do like him. I'm going to mull on that overnight, but I think I think it's a little bit short for my liking. I do fancy him to be in the break there, but I'm not convinced that he shouldn't be a little bit bigger to get me involved. Then quite a number of other riders. Let's go down. Jai Hindley. He, of course, I was big on him the other day. I think it was 42 to 1 or somewhere around there. I can't even remember. I've had so many long shots that I backed. He looked very good to me, and I think Bora definitely going to have a go at it. So Hindley there 50 to 1. And then I just want to highlight, I put a couple of other long shots down the bottom, and in fact, I've got some even longer shots in the final staking plan. But Bob Jungels for Bora, I thought he was absolutely superb in that mountain stage the other day, setting the pace and keeping the break clear. And if Hindley's not the man tomorrow, then I've got a feeling Jungels could be. Obviously, Bora have to go for the stage win, really. There's nothing else for them in this tour. They've lost Roglic. And I think Jungels, he's, if I'm not mistaken, a previous tour winner. I used to actually be a big fan of this man. He's been a bit quiet in recent years, but absolutely superb riding on stage 15. And then Felix Gall, now he's sitting in 11th place in GC at the moment. He doesn't look like he's going to make that King of the Mountains run that I wanted him to. But the question is for him as well, when can he win a stage? And the way that Vingegaard and Pogacar are riding, it's very difficult to see him winning one of the 2 mountain stages on Friday and Saturday. So then, if I'm his team, I'm saying, now's the time to go. He's well behind the leaders, so he will be given leeway, certainly from the top guys. You might get that guy in 9th place trying to defend his position. But I see no reason why he shouldn't be able to get into the breakaway. Although, yeah, probably the road's a little bit flatter maybe than he would like. But for me, this is the sort of stage I think he should target. So 100 to 1 there. I'm going to throw him in. I certainly have been thrown in some long shots. I guess hitting the old Turgis early in the tour has probably swayed me a little bit. I've been looking for the long shots, but let's hope we can hit another one. I'm going 1 unit Hindley at 50 to 1, half a unit Bob Jungels at 82 to 1, Felix Gal 100 to 1, also half unit on, and then a couple of quarter unit bets. Steph Kruis, Total Energies as well. This guy's a good climber. He's well off the pace. He's definitely capable of getting in the break. I've been impressed with him at times over the tour. He's 310 to 1. I'm sticking quarter of unit on him. And then I'm going for the old UAE, perhaps to put someone in the break. And the name that just jumped out at me was Sivakov. Perhaps it would more likely be Soler. I don't know. I think he's about 250 to 1. But I don't want to throw too much money at it. But just to have something there, I'm hoping maybe UAE sticks Sivakov in the break and he can fight it out. He is, of course, an exceptional climber. And then my 2 units price boost, I've got Hindley over Mass onto Almeida over Yates. I can tell you as things stand, they're both 9 to 10 the pair. So that works out at 26 to 10. I'll see what sort of price I can get from Boyles in the morning, 28 to 10, possibly, maybe even as big as 3 to 1. We'll see what kind of mood they're in. There's a link to that price boost down below, so you can go check that out. But it'll also be up in our forum thread and on the site as well. Yeah, if you have any strong fancies for the stage, let me know your predictions in the comments. As always, great to have your company for the Tour de France. We're nearing the business end of proceedings now. I'm tired, but I can see I'm going to make it to Nice, going strongly, and looking forward to the stage 18 preview when I'll be back late on Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. Thanks, everyone. Subscribe if not yet done, and we'll see you for stage 18.